I remember teaching where a group of meditation students were getting to ask questions of a man named Joseph Goldstein. Joseph Goldstein is one of the most senior meditation instructors in the United States, along with Sharon Salzberg and Jack Kornfield. Those three lunatics started just going to Asia in the late 60s and early 70s. Back before, the Beatles did it, and finding masters in Burma and India and Thailand, and then coming back to the United States to teach us what they had learned, ultimately founding the Insight Meditation Society in Barre, Massachusetts. You may be familiar with some of their students, because that list includes people like Tara Brach. So Joseph Goldstein is the real deal. Very senior teacher. And somebody asked him the question that I think we've all had at some point, like, Joseph, I want to sit on my cushion every day. I want to meditate every day, but I can't bring myself to do it. I feel like I don't have time. I feel like it's a chore. Can you help me? And he said, oh, yeah, absolutely. And he answered without hesitation. It was like, it's so simple. He said, just set up your chair or your cushion or your kneeling bench or your yoga mat that you lie down on, whatever posture you prefer. He said, create a little space in your home or in your bedroom, just some corner with something nice to remind you that the actions that take place there are sacred to you, are very important to you. It could be a candle or a plant. And then once a day, at the same time every day, ideally at the beginning of the day or at the end of the day, right out of the bed or right before bed, ideally, he said, take your seat. So go over to that space and sit down on your cushion. And then immediately get back up. He said, just do that for a while. Just make your practice one breath, just taking your seat, assuming your posture. He said, and eventually that will drive you crazy. You will want to do more. You will want to do more. Your body and your mind and your spirit will demand more time in this beautiful, calm, serene place that you have created. Sit and then let yourself sit there for 2 minutes. And then let yourself sit there for 5. And before you know it, you've shifted from the story of, oh, this is something that I have to do extra, that takes a lot of time, that I feel guilty if I don't do. None of those stories feel good. Right? And we do what feels good, my friends. We can deny it. We can impose all of this will and volition on ourselves, all these rules. But at the end of the day, I was married, to paraphrase the poet Mary Oliver, this soft animal body of mine is going to love what it loves. We're still animals. We're still animals. We're going to do what we feel like doing. And so if you want to do something consistently, you have to slowly, over time, change your identity, not your habit necessarily. You have to become a person who looks forward to their meditation practice, who's telling themselves the story like, oh yeah, I do that every day. That's so important to me. I really care about that. Just the way, like, if we were in a clothing store, I could hand you a garment and be like, what do you think about this? And every fiber of your being would go, no! Like, I would never, not even as a costume, I would never wear that. Because it touches a part of your identity. You don't have to think about it. It's in the framework, inside of which all the thinking is happening. right? But just as easily, right? If I knew you well, I could pull out something and be like, yeah, but don't you like this? Don't you love this denim jacket with fringe hanging off the sleeves, or whatever it was, depending on who you were. And the exact opposite would happen, right? Your whole body would be drawn to it. You wouldn't even need to say anything. You would just be reaching out, grabbing the garment because you wanted to put it on. Because it looked to you like you already owned it, like it was already yours. We can't fake that to ourselves. We can try. I try. But it's rarely successful. Right? Another way to say what I'm saying is that mindfulness practice is a form of transformation. And to quote my teacher, our teacher, the Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh, transformation happens at the base. No matter how much I rearrange the leaves, right? If I have planted the seed of an apple tree, it's still going to produce apples. Right? Transformation, if I want different, then I have to plant the seed of an orange tree, right, at the base.